Good morning, day, night, evening, afternoon, guys. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome on to yet another fresh run just through normal and hardcore, and we're gonna today look at the Inquisitor class. So today, welcome on McMac. Yeah, if you wanna do like an Inquisitor, right? So I mean, there's multiple ways you can do it, of course, like level an Inquisitor. You can start off with like Word of Pain and Stormbox, of course, like that's pretty good early game. But also, the Rune of Kalastor is really strong for leveling, in my opinion. And also the Rune of Fagorad can be good, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna play that today. I think I'm gonna mostly focus on Rune of Kalastor, to be honest. Because Kalastor has a pretty nice monster frequence. We should actually check them out over here, right? So first of all, if you wanna like play a Inquisitor or like a Rune Inquisitor, you once again, right? You go to grimtools, item database, and then you click on the like item skill modifiers. And then you go down to Inquisitor and click on Rune of Fagorad and Rune of Kalastor. And of course only choose rare items, right? We don't care about anything else. And now for Rune of Kalastor, you have the Skybreaker Circlet, for example, which converts Rune of Kalastor to lightning and adds additional damage to Lightning Kalastor. Then you have Out of Sermons, which convert Rune of Kalastor to chaos. Then you have Obsidian Bulwark, which gives you another projectile and also has reduced resistances to Rune of Kalastor. Now you can't play this together with this offhand, of course, but you can play the shield or the offhand with this, right, together with this. The thing is, though, that I mean, chaos is
Good, you're back.
probably not gonna be like what we're gonna play.
34 Manns, lächelndes Gesicht.
Yo, Azamin, thanks for the 34 months. Appreciate it. Prime, welcome back, welcome back. Also, Lonka, Arusios, Marco Martins, Saxophone Sensei, welcome, guys. Is Fangs of Asterkarn out? I mean, not today, but at some point later this year, hopefully. Then we also have another medal, like another monster frequent, called Martin's Crest, which converts physical to lightning to Rune of Kalastor. So with Martin's Crest and this thing over here, right, you get like full fire and physical damage conversion to lightning, which is pretty good. There's also this Flesh Warp Incinerator, which blocks your weapon and offhand slot, which converts physical Kalastor to fire and adds another projectile to Rune of Kalastor, which honestly is not that bad either. It also has cooling reaction to Kalastor, right? So that's actually pretty good. Like this gives you one projectile, right? And like flat resistance reduction. This gives you minus 0.5 recharge and one projectile and conversion to fire. Which is honestly, I don't know, like is it better to play fire or lightning? Like both are really good, right? Season 8 tomorrow after tomorrow? Yeah. PoE 1 League, or dude, like PoE 1 League, like maybe next century, right? Who even knows? Let's check out Rune of Fagorad, right? Rune of Fagorad has this Gargoyle's Gaze for like cold damage to Fagorad, which is nice. Special longsword with like pierce to cold conversion and frostburn to Fagorad. You can like dual wield this to convert like all pierce to cold if you're like, especially like a Nightblade secondary, like an infiltrator, right? And that's it actually, like these are all the monster frequencies for Rune of Kalastor that exist, right? For Rune of Fagorad. So there aren't actually that many. Let's check out maybe like some legendaries with like faction stuff on them on top. Some flat cold to Rune of Fagorad, but you're missing out on the pierce to cold conversion, which is like better anyway. Nightstalker Pendant. I mean, it's okay, right? You can like use this, sure. Yeah, it's only those two. Okay, so like the weapon is garbage, and this one is okay. This one is like usable. But Rune of Fagorad, legendaries are like that you can like guarantee from like the factions. There's literally not a single one. Okay, so I don't know. What do you see? What do you want to see, guys? Rune of Agarad or Rune of Kalastor? I think we're gonna play Rune of Kalastor here because I think Rune of Agarad is gonna be a bit more interesting actually with Berserker class. So yeah. You have one extra in the league. True. Was Rune of Agarad buffed at any time? I actually don't know. Was it? I don't think so. Like, I mean, neither of the runes actually got buffed like on this current patch, I believe. But they've been like very good for a long time. And my old video was like about like Stonebox Sword of Pain, which actually got buffed on this patch, so those are better again. Yeah, Kalastor is kinda good. 3-stacked Agarad is... I think it's not too bad either. I think Agarad is pretty good too, but Kalastor is probably what we want to play here. Yeah, like Agarad is it's a lot more interesting, I think, with the Raven form from the Berserker. But we're gonna like talk about that another time. You want to see Titan Quest 2? Yeah. I mean, Titan Quest 2 is gonna be played on this channel at some point, whenever it's out, but yeah, not yet. How good is it to use both runes in the same build? Depends. With certain builds or like items you can, but usually it's not gonna be that easy to like streamline the damage on all of them, right? Unless you wanna go like, I think Runebinder, like there's the Runebinder set. You can play both with the Runebinder set. That's like pretty much the only set I think that allows for that playstyle. Because it's like elemental damage and it converts like the physical damage from Kalastor to also like elemental damage. And also the set itself like gives you another rune on top. So I would dare to say that like Runebinder is like pretty much the only way that I know of, at least, that you can, like how you can combine both runes in like one build. At least for now. There might be more options with the Fangs of Asterkarn expansion. Okay, so I think we're gonna play... Ooh, but if you play fire, right? We could play like Flesh Warped Incinerator. I don't think I've seen like people play this one yet, but I'm pretty sure it's actually better than the other stuff that you can do right now. The question is though, is it better than Lightning? Because like as Lightning you can still play this. You can play this, which is already like 2 more projectiles, right? It's just like 1 more. Sure, it's like longer cooldown though. And then you gotta like play this for conversion. I mean, we can like try both, I guess. Not on the same build, but we're gonna start with... I guess Lightning, because you can play this like a little bit easier, right? 20% chance to deal extra damage just for the gun damage only. No, it's actually not. It's percent damage, right? So it also can affect the runes. It's not flat damage, right? It's percent damage. So it does also affect the runes. Yo, Brewster, welcome on. Alright, let's get going, right? Let's start the character. Wrecked by... runes, starter runes, whatever. Yo, Envy. Superior game. I mean, compared to like Path of Exile with like 0 updates and PoE2 with like being 1/3 finished. I mean, I would say so for sure. The superior game. Yo, Gray, maybe welcome on. Playing an old version. Yeah, I'm not playing playtest yet. PoE 2 out of 10. It's like 2 out of... like 2/10 finished. Alright. So we are Inquisitor, right?
Good, you're back.
And early. Yo, Omana X. Welcome on, welcome on. Appreciate the 13 months. Welcome back to the Bloomers. Public playtest randomly got 1, 2, 1, 5. Wait, what? Okay. You can also play like Word of Pain, of course, like earlier, right? You could just like, you know, one tap like all the trash. I mean, you should always do that, right? It's better than default attacking, that's for sure. I mean, they buffed us, right? Like, it's even better now to like use Word of Pain early. For sure. New season of Grim Dawn. New season of Grim Dawn when the expansion hits. So later this year, but we don't know exactly when yet. Always tomorrow, yeah, true. Welcome, Ricardio. Fresh start, what happened to the last two characters? Same as is gonna happen to this one as well. It's gonna be taken through all of normal only, and I'm gonna stop the second I'm ready for ultimate, because I currently only care about like early game leveling. We're gonna finish them eventually, maybe, if I have the time and the motivation to do so. Mostly just like checking out, you know, yeah, let's like use both of these, honestly. So when I have the box for single target and the Word of Pain for AoE, kinda... The problem is though, like, early game, Word of Pain doesn't even have like that great AoE. Like, this skill only has 3 meter radius, the first node, and it doesn't really increase. I mean, it doesn't increase at all, actually. Unless you get more points in Word of Agony, which is why we have to like push to Word of Agony as well. Gravity Shifter 5, thanks to the Prime, welcome on, appreciate the support. Hello, hello. Epoch. Elias, actually, I mean, Elias is gonna be the only game that actually has content in April, I guess, right? I mean, maybe that's gonna be like some, that's gonna be like some PoE2 patch as well, I think, for sure. But I mean, Grim Dawn is not gonna have any content in April, I think, I would guess. I think Fangs is... I mean, maybe in May, right? Who knows? How's the transition from normal to ultimate straight away? If you, like, prepare your character properly, it's totally fine, I think. I'm gonna, like, put one down here and one in each skill, I think. That's fine. Neither of the skills, like, scale overly crazily good, I think, so... It's fine to get like some for AoE, some for like single targets, I guess, a bit. I think if I had to choose, like, Stormbox is probably like the better node at this point, actually, because yeah, Word of Pain has like kind of crappy AoE at this point anyway. What character am I gonna take into Fangs of Asterkarn? I mean, eventually all of my characters, but I'm actually not sure if I'm gonna first go into Fangs with like an old, already capped out character, or if I wanna do like a fresh start from zero. I guess I could like let you guys decide, because at that point, whenever it's out, I'll probably have played like most of the content already anyway. Being a playtester. Okay, yeah, okay. I mean, you can like attack on top, right? I should like probably attack. Even Box's single target damage is honestly not as good as like some other skills from like other masteries are, to be fair. Pressure's always fun. Playing Fangs without League mod? Bruh. To be fair, I might just like play with old characters in Fangs. Try to get like the Ascended mode as soon as possible and like try to experience that. Because like fresh... I'm gonna play that in the leagues anyway, right? Probably. And I mean, I wanna have like fresh start like guides ready before Fangs launches anyway, so... That's why we're doing this stuff right now. And that's also why we're not doing like the level 34 strat right now, because, I mean, obviously I could do that on my main account, but these characters I'm playing right now, just like last week, are like fresh, with like everything reset. Because I want to like basically update my guides on the like how to level insert mastery here videos.
I've been expecting you.
Which are designed for like completely new character, like completely new players rather, and those obviously won't have like all the leveling gear that I have. Sozer 044, thanks for the prime, welcome to the Bloomers, appreciate the support. Hello. I actually fixed the problem I had with not being able to boot the game in 64-bit, nice. What was the issue in the end? It's good to hear, man. Gonna roll a Raven character ASAP. Yeah, Raven sounds fun for sure. I mean, technically I could like on day one, right? I could like, you know, log into the game with like a Raven character as well. That I have like pre-leveled. Not sure that's like overly exciting or not, I don't know yet. I'll have to I'll have to like decide once we're like sooner to the expansion. Now with Inquisitor, right, unless you want to play guns, there is no point really like putting any points into cunning.
Good, you're back.
We're gonna, I think I'm gonna like try.
They raised the price of subs. Match.
They did? Really? Holy. Thanks for the 28 months, Envy, welcome back to the Bloomers, appreciate the support. Even though apparently they raised the prices, at least in the US. I mean, that's what you get for having like cheaper eggs now, right? You get more expensive Twitch subs. Supposedly you guys have cheaper eggs, but I mean, I don't think that's actually true. I mean, they're gonna get cheaper eventually, right? Surely. And ETA for the expansion pack? Not yet, no. All we know is this year, and I don't know. If I had to guess, it's definitely not gonna be in the first quarter. It may be like in May, maybe later, who knows. Eggs are cheaper, I don't know, like that's what like some dude like told you guys that's gonna happen, right? Okay, I think after this I'm gonna like level 1 Inquisitor with like guns maybe early game, but I'm pretty sure it just like sucks as well. Like honestly after like playing Dreek's Evil Eye or even Penates, what I'm doing right now feels not that great. Okay, then again I don't have like enough points in Stonebox. Maybe I should like just put more points in the box for like the single target, to be fair. Let's try that. Maybe splitting between Word of Pain and box is not that good of an idea after all. Because honestly, like, whatever gets Word of Pain right now gets like one shot anyway. Like, I have enough, like, trash clear. Just single target is terrible. Has anybody tried using lossless scaling to add frame rate generation to Grim Dawn? No idea. I have not. I mean, I don't have Rune of Color stored yet. Like, it's a level 15 point, like level 15 skill, right? I can't like play it at level 1. I can play it at level like... I mean, I could like play it soon, actually, with a decent amount of points. Actually, very soon. I want to go back to the cave anyway, right? Like to the cellar for the pump. A photo was missing, a DLL file. Oh, okay. Interesting. Wait, and it didn't auto-update that, even though you clicked maybe like... I mean, I hope you tried verifying your game files via Steam, for example. I've seen the Dragonkin trailer. I have not. What kind of game is that even? I have no idea what Dragonkin is even supposed to be. What is Dragon King? Dragonkin rather, not King. You tried Grim Dawn again after the PoE dry up. Excited for the future of both games. Yeah. Same here actually. I mean, I know like PoE 1 players I'm gonna miss PoE1 not getting updates, and I do think it's a shitty decision by the devs. I mean, they literally like lied to the community. Like, there's no excuse for that. But then again, I don't personally care about PoE1, so... But I mean, it's still shitty, right? Okay, let's go back, and I think right now, right, we're gonna... First of all, post like a tiny link, which is like how the Word of Pain stuff looks right now. So basically like only points in Word of Pain and like Stormbox, but I think basically like once you can respec at around like level 8 or high, like yeah, around like level 8 should already be honestly enough. We're gonna try the Rune of Kalastor now. We can like put 6 points in Rune of Kalastor, I think. Which might not be that great damage at this point. But it still might be better than what I've been running so far. And ideally you wanna have like the double fire items like Kaiser's Skull and Francis's Gun, which are obviously guaranteed. Like ready to equip at this point. If you somehow don't have those, you can still like play the Carver's Conjuring Bone, which is also a guaranteed like item next to the zombie Gilias, right? There's like a corpse there that always drops this offhand. Okay. Hopefully we already have enough scrap. Like I kind of would like to go to the setter at this point already. But I think I'm like still missing one more. Maybe this guy like gives me scrap as well. Taking care of them. Scrap, there we go. Okay, 5 scrap, perfect. Very nice, very nice. Perfect timing, honestly. Now that we already have like so many points down the bar, I'm gonna like obviously max up my skill right away, like ASAP. PoE 2 out of 10, hitting dodge roll makes your dick go soft. Wait, what? I don't mind the dodge roll at all, actually. I mind like many other things. I don't mind the dodge roll at all, actually. You can also like put Kalastor on right click. You can't put it on left click. Okay, how does this work? I mean, you just place it down, then you let like enemies walk over it. Didn't they increase like... I mean, is it really that good at this point? I feel like... I'm gonna try it, of course. It doesn't... I mean, again, like compared to Panetti or Druxy Vlad, it still feels very slow, to be fair. Compared to what we had just a second ago. I would say against Trash, like, feels about the same. The Ignition node is gonna make it feel a lot better against Trash. Because it also, like, stuns enemies in place and, like, gives you an initial burst when you, like, place it. But for single target, at least, the skill should already be, like, way better, like, right now as it is. Did they, like, turn down the volume of the skill? It feels, like, very quiet. I thought this was louder. It feels super quiet, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know why they said the PoE team wouldn't get pulled of it. I mean, there's like financial reasons making people that think that PoE 1 is getting invested more, spend more in the game, right? Kind of stuff like that. Like, it's kind of like false advertisement in a way, actually. I could say, but oh well. A returning player looked into the top 20 post. I should give me 1 sec to like concentrate a little bit here, because I'm not a Drigzivla cultist who can just like rough stomp the game at this point. Okay, there we go. I mean, not too bad. I think definitely like faster than with Stormbox Word of Pain at this point. But yeah, could be better for sure. Incorruptible of Zeal? Holy fuck, what is this item, dude? Why do I get Incorruptible of Z at level 10? That's insane. Okay, 3 more points here. And we hand in the quest, because this quest gives us... First of all, we got like 2 devotion points, which we're gonna like put into Jackal, right? Jackal first on pretty much any build. You're gonna see a pattern there when you at least watch my content. Other people might like put points somewhere else, but I think Jackal first is best because, I mean, movement speed is king, and Jackal gives you attack speed, movement speed, and casting speed. You could argue attack speed and casting speed aren't that important in this build, which is kind of true, but movement speed is still nice, and I mean, the Jackal, like 3 points in Jackal is like the earliest total speed, or like actually also the earliest movement speed you can get in the entire game. So yeah, I kind of like always choose it on any character right away. What's the plan? Leveling with both runes or only one? Only one. Only one. You don't want to like spread your points too thin. You can play a build with 2 runes. That's something you would rather do like later on, or especially once you get the gear for it. Because you also want to ideally like convert the damage like to 1 damage unit to property scaling. So, I mean, usually it will be elemental damage if you want to like play both of them at the same time. I'm not sure if like Pierce could technically also work actually. I think that there might be like a world where you could also like play both with Pierce damage. But I'm pretty sure that world is also like very gear dependent. Now the caravan driver, right, he has like 3 spawn locations, 1 down here, 1 here, and then like 1 over here as well. And apparently I'm just blind. Because I missed him in like one of the 3 spots. What the hell am I doing? Okay, yeah, the elite is getting deleted at least by the skull, that's nice. Upcoming RPG early access in March. Here's a short video that shows the skill system. Interesting. I'll check it out later. Did I like seriously just leave him there? Because I was talking too much? I guess I was. Oops. I think he has to be here, right? Yeah. I missed the caravan driver. How is that even possible? Okay, we got pump points. Actually, you want to get some movement speed, right? So you like always put 2 points in Word of Renewal. Should have done this a little bit earlier, to be fair. So Word of Renewal is an active heal that you have to press, but also like it gives you passively defensive ability and movement speed, and also like less damage taken from Chthonians and Eldritch, which is kind of like thematic for Inquisitor. For attributes, I mean, yeah, no cunning, pretty much like only physique and spirit. Sorry. Spirit gives you magic damage and also percent energy regeneration. Magic damage is everything except for physical damage, pierce damage, bleeding damage, and internal trauma damage. Wait, is that the Warhammer Chaos Bane studio? Yeah, that game kinda sucked, but... I mean, maybe this game is better, who knows? I would read it eventually, yeah. Yo, Dimik, welcome, привет. Yeah, sometimes, I mean, I need to like focus on the game or like read all the stuff, but I can't read like everything at the same time. What can we use here? I mean, the gloves are gonna be nice. They even have like +2 to intensify, which is... Oh wait, it's not a skill I'm actually using, right? It's like the Ignafar build, Ignafar skill. To be fair, I have a feeling the gun would be actually like really nice for Fire Rune of Color Store. I wonder. Honestly, like a normal difficulty, especially like early, it doesn't like matter all too much if you're like playing fire or lightning. There's one problem though. Like, if you play the shield, like if you play lightning, you don't need to go for Rowan's Crown, whereas if you play fire, you actually do need to go for Rowan's Crown. Because if you play lightning, you can use the shield, right? And the shield has the same resistance reduction type as the Rowan's Crown. Getting boomer. Runic Seal minus 4 seconds carry charge. Is that a new one? What do you mean exactly? Oh, you mean this one? They changed this at some point, yeah.
Good, you're back.
It used to be, I think, some other stuff. It used to give you, I think, like projectile dodge or something like that. But not anymore. Yo, MH Malone, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Which smith you choose here, I think, doesn't matter too much. Unless you want to play like a pistol purifier, then you want to choose Duncan Donuts. In ultimate, you almost always want to choose Angrim for the like percent armor that he can craft. Like that he can roll on your gear that he crafts. Can grasping vines ever work as a main damage skill? With certain gear, yeah, but without very specific gear, it's rather underwhelming, to be fair. I mean, it's like a decent. It's never really like underwhelming, because it's always good to proc devotions with that skill, and it's also very good to like for AoE, right? It's always like fine for AoE. But to use like as a main skill for like all content, like single target and AoE at the same time, you kind of need like very specific endgame gear, otherwise it's not gonna like feel that great. Wild Blood is also kind of ZDPS nowadays. I mean, yeah, I guess it was like better in the past too. True. Did Occultist die? No. Today you play the Last Epoch Warlock, Chthonic Fisher, etc. Feels like kind of like runes. Yeah, true. True. I can see that being similar for sure. Alright. This guy's reflective. I guess it's good that we don't have all too much damage yet. Oh yeah, you can also like always put 1 point down here in deadly aim. That's fine. And like 1 in vigor, and then like 1 down here. We're gonna go to ignition. Ignition is kind of nice. Let's go with the Milton's Cask. Let's go with this. Oh yeah, we have some bosses here. I mean, elites. Heroes, I think they're called. I mean, to be fair, Rune of Castor is like doing really well against these guys. I think this is actually like slightly faster boss damage than like, for example, Trixie with Eye or Penalty. Definitely faster than Penalty. The AoE is just a bit slow. You could like put it down into like groups and hope it kills like everything, but whatever. Like you can't really like kill stragglers with this. It would be like a waste of time to like stick around for stragglers. Where's this guy? Agram? Let's rescue him too. Oh yeah, what you could obviously always do, right, as a filler skill, right, to actually kill stragglers is you just use Fireball. So use like a Searing Ember, right? You could like use this right away at around, I mean, whenever you get it, right, like honestly like level 1 base, like level 5, right? At level 5 plus you can just like use Searing Ember as a filler for your runes. That's like what you should do, to be honest. Yeah, definitely do this. And if you have like trouble killing these Ember Guards, which are like basically fire immune at this point, you could also use a like chill spike, right, as a secondary, just for like these guys. But the Rune of Kalasor itself is also gonna like deal some like physical damage, so you can also kill these guys with just Rune of Kalasor too. And glad for endgame, you can play both runes, or like either of the runes. They're both viable for endgame. Depends like what kind of secondary you want to play, what kind of build you want to play in general as well. The safest hardcore build. I mean, the safest hardcore build is gonna be some complete DPS thing that I've not played yet, I guess. But I also think those builds like are just giga boring. So like the safest build I played that still like deals good damage in my opinion is something like Avenger Water. Yeah, you can like check out my Avenger Water builds that I've made, I guess. Or also like Shield Warlords are like very safe too if you like make them very tanky. Arcanus with Hagurad. I would go Nightblade with Hagurad, it's way better. Like Arcanus is really not that good for runes, I think. Like it might appear to be good, but it's really not actually. Automod is kinda drunk, yeah, I don't know what's happening lately. Like blocking links from mods, like what the fuck? What is it doing? Oh my god. Wait, don't you have power over automod as a mod? Like, wouldn't you able to like allow your own link? That's how it should work, right? What the fuck? Okay, we have some new items here, right? Also, we have pretty much like greens in every single slot now, which means we can like stop looking at yellows. Yellows aren't worth saving for armbits. So just sell them. I mean, just throw them on the ground rather. They are useless. I didn't get a new pair of gloves yet. That's interesting. Streamer also drunk? Maybe. I mean, not today. Yo, Ethereum, welcome on. I saw your video on YouTube on a gun build, the Purifier. Yeah. Hopefully you liked it. It's I mean, there's multiple gun builds you can do in this game, but I would assume it's probably a Purifier that you saw. I've made like... Actually, I didn't make like too many gun builds, but I've made a couple. And I also did like the Oppressor, the Aether Oppressor playthrough. Oh yeah, another nice thing about Kalasor is if you find the final March boots, which are honestly not too rare, like I feel like it's pretty much like a 50-50 chance whether you find these like early game or not. They have like another like +2 to Rune of Kalasor, which obviously is a lot more damage. Well, like not a lot, but it's a little bit more damage. Kinda nice. Needs more 2-unit gun builds in your opinion? Maybe. Yeah. I think without grimtools, like a video is just not properly done. Like videos that just like show you an endgame build and like pretend it's a beginner build and like don't at least show how the person has like leveled up the character is just like just throw the video in the trash can right away. In my opinion, at least. If it's like an endgame showcase, sure, that's fine. But like if it's like supposed to be like some beginner or guide or whatever, right? Like chances are it's like another Sinister G build anyway. Is it worth paying 6,758 and 90 euros and 90 cents for a new PC? What the hell, dude? Yo, Buhar, welcome, welcome. I mean, right now I'm not gonna like play a single build like longer than 2 streams probably, or maybe like 3 right now, and then like eventually do like ultimate on them maybe. Rune armoring time is the same as in the league now. Zentai stole yet another balance like thing that I made. Classic, right? Classic. Ah, shit, where the hell am I going? Naomi getting a new PC for Grim Dawn 1.0, true. And like for Witcher 3 from like 2000... When was that even? 13? 2015? Okay, I mean, yeah, it's even older than Grim Dawn actually. Kinda crazy. Is that the play, do normal then do ultimate? In my opinion, yes. You full clear normal, you do everything, you unlock all factions, because reputation is actually very, very important for endgame. Because you need like the augments to put on your gear for endgame. And, well, you can only get augments from the factions, and you can only get augments from factions at like the last status at revered, so you need to like be revered with like pretty much all factions to be like properly min-maxable for endgame. And for that, alongside also like a somewhat efficient way of leveling as well as acquiring gear, I would say the best way is to do full clear normal, you skip elite, and then you full clear ultimate again, right? Because that way you unlock all the factions, right, in normal. And then at the end of normal, you just want to like make sure that you know, make your character ready to be like play with ultimate. You lose 50% to the top row of resistances and 25% to the bottom row of resistances. And for ultimate, you kind of want to have all of your resistances maxed. I would say for Act 1 ultimate, the lower row maybe doesn't need to be maxed right away, but the top row I think needs to be maxed already, even for Act 1. Maybe not Pierce, but like Poison Elemental like 100%. And then by the time you get to like Act 2 or 3, you definitely want to have like literally everything maxed to 80%. Which can be quite a challenge, right? So if you don't have the gear yet, or like you couldn't find the pieces of the puzzle yet to make that happen at the end of normal, then do spend like a little bit more time in normal to, for example, get maybe some augments already like from some faction, like maybe like farm some bounties, I don't know, to, you know, make it a little bit easier for you to get over to ultimate. But yeah, ultimate has like better drop chances for legendaries, pretty much like all good loot, like blueprints as well. And I mean, it's ultimately like the, well, ultimate version of the game, is like the actual version of the game that you want to be playing on. Aether is also needed for Act 1. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to have the bottom row like below 50%, even in Act 1 ultimate, maybe like not even below 60%. I think like, I mean, I did like Act... Okay, when I did playtesting, right, with Berserker Inquisitor on a Were-Raven, I did Act 1 Ultimate with -3 Aetherus, up to including Warden Krieg, and it was totally fine. But that's like in my hands, right? So usually I would like suggest you to have like, for Act 1, like 60 minimum for the bottom row, and like from Act 2 on, kind of like 80 or higher, right? Like just to be safe. Yeah, but I mean, right, like Tyler, you and me, right, we've played the game a lot, right? So like, obviously if you like are very good at the game, or like you've played the game enough, you know like how everything works, and you can like get away with less, and you know like which abilities to dodge and so on. But as a like suggestion for people that especially aren't that new to the game, I mean, ideally you want to like max all of your resistances like as soon as possible. If anything, armored Pierce Res. Pierce Res? I don't know about Pierce Res. I think Elemental and Poison are more important for sure for Act 1. Armor, though, is always important, that's true. Like, as long as you're not in the actual endgame, and by actual endgame I mean level 100 at Ultimate, armor rating is very, very important as a like layer of defense, because almost all enemies like deal physical damage. Like, at least to a small amount, especially like all melee attacks of like enemies like usually deal physical damage. And armor is a great way of like mitigating that, at least for like all the way to endgame. Like in endgame you will need like other layers on top, but having good armor and like especially armor absorption can be very, very good all the way to endgame. Yeah, armor absorption is something I'm gonna like, I mean I could like talk about right now, right? 70% is the default, so only 70% of your armor actually like works kinda by default, and well, ideally you want to get to like 100%, or like as close to 100% as like reasonably possible. There's different ways to get there, like components, gear, devotions, classes, but mostly it's gonna be components. We're gonna talk about that like once we are like done with Act 1 basically. Last Epoch Season 2's trailer just dropped, really? Okay, we're gonna check this out I think once I'm like done with this playthrough for the day. Can check this out like after this character like got to, I guess like around Act 3 or something like that. There's no wait, trailer already now? What? The league is like in flippin' April. Why would there be a trailer now? What are you talking about? Makes no sense. Are they like doing it earlier than expected? 15-second I mean that's not a trailer, that's like probably like one picture. It's like a mini teaser I guess. Yeah, the armor in general in this game I think is way better balanced than PoE 2 for example. And obviously also in this game it's like better for spawn hits than for big hits. But it's like it's reasonable. You confirm the date, April 2nd, not April 1st. It's not an April Fool's joke. Not quite at least. And that's a good date. Oh my god, I'm dodging too early, just like an Elden Ring. Oh my god, okay, don't play Creek like me, but I mean, it's not only normal, right? Just like, make sure he like tanks all the runes, so you kind of wanna just face tank. He can't kill you anyway, right? I mean, Warden Creek can actually kill you. I've seen that before, but what's happening? Music? 8,000 hours Grim Dawn Veteran, by the way. True. Also, flippin' 8,000 hours Grim Dawn Veteran, forgot to get the third fabric. Holy fuck, dude. Yo, Braskin.
I've been expecting you.
Thanks for the sub. Welcome on. Welcome to the Bloomers. Appreciate the support. You throw them away, by the way, but the reputation, man. Yeah, I mean, you can also throw them away and like never do the quest, but 45 Aetherus is a lot for Act 1. Oh yeah, that's true actually. I don't have so much Aetherus. I mean, if you use like Milton's Cask, you always have like some Aetherus, right? Which is probably something you will use most of the time anyway, because most other helmets that you get in Act 1 are probably gonna be worse than that. But that said, like, Krieg, I mean, sure, he deals Aether damage, but not like that much even. So even if you don't have this, just having like a decent amount of like armor also can help a lot actually. Okay, did we get anything good here? Not really, right? Not really. Yeah, whenever I do these like fresh saves, then they're actually fresh saves, like they're like in a fresh save folder, so there's no blueprints, nothing. This is literally the same as if you just bought the game and started playing, right? Except I have like $8,000 of knowledge in this game and you probably don't, but when it comes to what I'm using in-game, it's literally the same things that you can have as well. Like no like fake fresh start, we are doing actual fresh starts here when I say, like whenever it's like in the description then it's actual fresh starts. The Warden's Fortress is always like a decent shield honestly for defense overall. I mean you could use this if you really wanted to. Like, you don't need to use an offhand. You could play a caster with a shield, like, no problem, right? It's fine. Your energy regeneration is gonna be worse, but as long as you don't mind pressing, like, energy pots, you're probably gonna be fine, honestly, with, like, Kadastor. It doesn't, like, need that much energy. There's, like, definitely, like, worse skills when it comes to energy consumption.
What do you want?
Your life is forfeit. 4k hours and you got one shot by Lucius the other night. Oof. That's a big F. Okay, before we like go anywhere, right? We like complete all the quests, of course, first, right? Been there, done that. The Warden's defeat has been defeated. The Warden's defeat is a great defeat. Okay, we have also one more quest up here, right? We can like hand in the fabric. There we go. Now we've literally done every single quest in Act 1, apart from, yeah, quests that you don't need to do. Now, very important, once you get to the stage of the game, you wanna go to the smith, and you wanna craft components, because at this stage of the game, they're like literally gonna make your build twice as good, right? So for example, you wanna craft like 2 ward stones, and you wanna put like one on your medal, and one on your amulet. I don't have a medal yet, but we're gonna fix that in a second. Then you wanna craft at least 1 anti-venom salve, and put that in your belt, because anti-venom salve has armor and poison rest, and you're gonna get elemental rest from ward stones, so you don't need to like craft the other stuff like rigid shell or so on. Just craft like anti-venom salve for poison rest, and you also want to put it in your belt. I mean, you can put this anywhere, right? But it's kind of like a bait to put it anywhere else but the belt, at least, because in the belt, any armor on the belt is like added to every single other slot as well, and this component has armor, so every component with armor is 6 times better in belt than anywhere else. If it has like flat armor, right? Not percent armor, but like flat armor like anti-venom salve. Because if you put this on your like boots, for example, then only the armor value of your feet is gonna increase, whereas if you put it here, the armor value of all of your like stuff is gonna increase. Now let's talk about armor absorption, right? You wanna like feel tankier, especially against like trash mobs. You can like craft 2 scaled hides. If you have the bristly fur, like put one on your like pants and one on your shoulders. But I don't have bristly fur right now. And I guess you can also like craft that, but it's like not really like worth it. You're gonna like find some, so we're gonna like skip that for now. And then what you could also do is you could either craft for more damage for your weapons, like weapon offhand, weapon shield, whatever, or for like more resistances. Things to look out for are imbued silver for bleed and chaos resistance, purified salt or aether resistance, and then, well, for example, flint core bolts if you want to like have a greater fire blast, or enchanted flint for like a percent fire damage aura, or like also flat damage. The flat damage is not going to be added to runes though. For lightning damage, I think you need to like play Hellbane's ammo if you want to like have an aura actually, and Amber if you want to have like a melee AoE attack. So like depending if you like want to play fire runes or lightning runes, you might like choose, you know, different components here. I think for now though I'm gonna like go for fire anyway, because well right now I don't have like any lightning conversion gear yet. So I'm gonna like play 1 enchanted flint and then 1 flint core bolt as a like filler attack, which I can't put on. I could put it on a gun. I could put it on this as well, but I can't put it on a shield. Okay. Oh well. Maybe we do use the Kazakh skull a little bit longer, because I'm not gonna use this gun for much longer actually. It's gonna be switched out to some other item in a second here. But yeah, if you want to use the shield, feel free to also like use double enchanted flints and play no fireball, that's fine too. Now metal, if you don't have a metal yet, you can just like go to these vendors and buy a metal here. You want to look out for resistances, and if you don't get resistances, then the second best thing you can get is attributes, physique, cunning, spirit basically. In this case, mostly physique and spirit. It's just a teaser? Okay, I mean, you can still like watch it later. I mean, I guess in this case you could like get the fire rest medal. I mean, there's no other medal. Fire rest is not really like what you want. You rather want to have something like, whoops. No, give me back that rune stone, please. Thank you. Ward stone, rather. You rather want to have something like poison rest or vitality rest, and not an elemental type of rest, because you're gonna get like Ellie rest very, very easily anyway. No, also at that stage of the game, I like putting emeralds in like forehead and chest, because they are super cheap. You get like 5 billion of them anyway, and you don't really like you can't really like use anything else in your helmet right now at this point, unless you wanna like use ectoplasm if you have like really bad energy, right? But in this case, this build doesn't seem all too energy hungry, so we can like put something like, yeah, polished emeralds or corpse dust in rings and helmet and chest. We wanna equip the Greater Fire Blast and go to the next act. Greetings from North Korea. Welcome, welcome in.
So, you go.
What? Frozen Hearts are good too. Yeah, that's true. Frozen Hearts are decent too if you want like some freeze rests, better fire rests, and HP, I guess, as well, or cold rests. True, true. They're not too bad. Good point. Okay, the reason why we're gonna go here, at least if you have this expansion, right? Is that you can get a movement skill here like really, really quickly. And you should like look at the quartermasters of the 3 factions that are present here on the conclave of the 3, because they all say you like emblems, which give you skills that you can like put in your medal. And depending on like which you choose here, you can like use their emblems right away, right? So if you choose, for example, the Dreek faction, right, you're gonna be like friendly with all of them, but the one that you choose is the one that unlocks their shop to you right away, basically. Right? If you check out the faction window now, I'll be like friendly with Cult of Dreek and only tolerated for these 2. So these 2 have their faction shops closed, like the quartermasters closed still. Whereas this one, well, these 3 tabs are still closed, but like the first one is at least open. So you can like use a movement augment of your choice and then like put the skill on your bar. Yes, that's all you need to do here, really. Don't worry about the rest of this act, especially not if you're playing... Oops. Especially not if you're playing like a Rune Inquisitor, because there are no like interesting items for you in this act. I mean, you want to clear this act eventually, but I would usually always suggest you to like go with the act that has like items for your character, because those are going to be like more interesting. Also, why the hell do I only have like 2 scrap, huh? What? How? Can't even repair the bridge, dude, I'm stuck. Okay, another thing I forgot to craft that you always want to do is Equilibrium. You pretty much get, I think, like 1 Tainted Brain Matter guaranteed from like killing Warden Krieg, right? And this thing gives you like movement speed as well. It's already capped. I mean, okay. Guess we don't even need Jack anymore. Well, well, well. Okay. Okay, do I play lightning or fire? I think I play lightning actually, right? Lightning seems to have better items. So we play... Yeah, we just go for like Arcane Bomb right away, because also if you play lightning you don't actually need Elemental Storm. You could like still play Ellie Storm later, but I don't think you need it really. So let's go with the Widow. So greens and purples. What greens do we want? Spider, I guess? You can also take out the jackal, right? I don't need movement speed anymore. Which you can like put into Spider and then like get the eel for the blues to get the Widow. Maybe do some bounties for the scrap? Yeah, exactly. Okay, if you're lacking scrap, you can either buy scrap from the vendors, which is, well, better if you have actually rescued the second vendor. You can also go to Lower Crossing and then like literally farm the scrap yard for more scrap. Xanta hired you as a free intern play and balance tester? Yeah, sometimes I feel like that. Yeah, like... Free, exactly, like not even hired, right? I'm just doing it for free. Right, in the old dump there's like some junk piles here. You can also like go down to this rat cave, right? Say hello to the rat in here. Yeah. There's some more junk piles in here. And I guess you can just like kill the boss real quick. If you go here at like level 5 or whatever, then it's like kind of sketchy to be here actually. Oh well, okay, I got enough scrap now. Warden's feet. Hey, what? Warden's feet? Did I say Warden's feet? Just move to the US. I don't know if I want to move to the US like right now, to be fair. I'm sure it's gonna be great without me too. It's gonna be made great again without me too. Move to US, get deported back. Oh yeah, true. At least they're like paying for the ticket back then, right? Okay, so what you can do, right? This is maybe like the evil playthrough, but I mean, you're a fucking Inquisitor, right? And all heretics need to be purged, and we just declare this man a heretic. And all of that just for a torch. I mean, it has fire damage, right? Which is good for me right now, at this very moment in the game. Just don't get sent to the new Guantanamo prison. Are they even like making a new one or just like cramming in all the people into the same prison? Where's the DLC coming out? At some point this year, that's all I know. Right now. I don't know like any new stuff about that yet. I'm fairly certain though it's not gonna be in the first quarter. Like not in February and not in March. I mean, I don't know, maybe in May, right? Maybe not, maybe in May, maybe not. Let's go down here, right, into the Arkovian Foothills Cave, into the Spined Cove. Because there's always a shrine down here. I mean, just be rich, right? Just be rich. I mean, that's why you go to the US in the first place, right? To become rich. American dream, baby. Current gloves have like fire damage, don't they? I mean, these have fire damage too, to be fair. And they have like better armor and better resistances, yeah. I don't know, like blue items are very often just... They can be okay, they can be good. But they're also, more often than not, actually not that great. So, yeah, just like keep on using your greens. If you... Like, don't trust the cutters, trust the stats on the items. This is not Diablo where you blindly equip higher rarity. Like, not Diablo 3 and 4 at least. Diablo 2, of course, was very different. Diablo 3 season started today. True. It will be double taxed. Yeah. Yeah, there's like ways to get double taxed, that's true. That you wanna avoid. What about PoE2? What about PoE2? I mean, I personally have more fun playing PoE2 than PoE1, but that game is far from finished, right? That game is far from finished. They need to finish campaign and they need to like finish like the classes and skills and items. I think like weapons, skills, and classes are like actually the most important thing, I think. People say Endgame also like needs a total rebalance. I mean, I guess. Endgame is a little shitty too, sure. Paying to beta test a game isn't my kind of thing. Yeah, true. That's also why I didn't pay for PoE 2. I just got it for free. I'm not sure if I even would have bought it, honestly. But it was fun trying it out. I mean, PoE 2's endgame right now feels like Last Epoch's endgame, but kinda arguably even like less fun. Yeah. And also like way worse crafting. Or like, I don't know, like PoE is always gonna have some kind of like tedium to it, right? Because the game is like free to play and you need to like sell like stash tabs and to like make people play around like trade and so on, because otherwise, I mean, especially when they want to like go free to play again, they need to survive on people buying MTX. And also with like Tencent being behind them and so on, they need to make money, right? They need to make money, so they're gonna like design their game with money in mind for sure. And sacrifice quality of life here and there for it. Just like they did in PoE 1 as well, to be fair. Right, the same thing, right? Like imagine a game where you like auto pick up components like Grim Dawn, or like imagine a game where you could like, you know, pick up an item without hovering over it. Or using third-party tools to have infinite stash. I mean, you gotta like... That's true, they do create a problem to then like sell the solution. But they also kind of have to do that, right? Like, I mean, all free-to-play titles do that. Like, once you go free-to-play, you have to do it like that, right? Kinda. I mean, you could do, like, cosmetics only, but... You could also do cosmetics and sell the problem. You could, like, do both, right? To be fair, like, compared to some other games, like... I think PoE 1 is rather fair, like, just buy the stash tabs and that's all you need. I would say that's true all the way if like the base game's cosmetics would kind of be fine, but like in PoE 1 you look like a flippin' hobo, like no matter what level you are and like how powerful you are, right? In Grim Dawn you can look really cool without like spending extra money on the MTX stuff. In PoE 2 at least you do look kind of decent as well, but they're also like missing tons of the like art for the like later acts still. New to Grim Dawn, are there builds that are good for beginners but yeah, okay, so I have many videos about beginner builds, right? And like the #1 criterion for all of my beginner builds is to get from level 1 all the way to endgame, and then also at least defeat the boss, like the celestial endgame, like uber boss basically, from which you can get the like leveling set. So all of these builds can go from like 0 to killing Lokar, he's called. That Celestial boss that you can farm with that build then to like basically put together leveling gear for second characters, so you can like use that as like a league starter basically, right? Like if a build can't do that, then I don't have it included in my list basically. And also there's even more builds that can do what I'm like requiring from those builds, but I don't have like time to play all the builds in this game. This game has
You're the goat.
a flippin' like, I don't know, has like a bazillion builds that are viable. Like I don't know a single game that has like better build like viability or like variety than Grim Dawn, to be fair. At least no ARPG. Spatula Samurai, thanks for the 2 months. Welcome back to the Bloomers. Appreciate the support and thanks for the kind words. PoE 2 default armors look actually kind of good. Feels like the MTX make the game or the character look worse. Oh. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I have not bought any, that's for sure. Okay, level 20. Do we change chest again? One Brisifer only. Oh yeah, when it comes to glove components, you wanna put something like Unholy Inscription to gloves, right? Like these rare components are actually really good right now for the gloves. You can also put... what are they called? Oh shit, I'm gonna kill myself. Monka. In-game, of course. You can also put Spellwoven Threads. They give you like offensive ability, some like elemental dot damage, as well as task speed. Those are kind of decent too. Okay. Hello Shazba, welcome, welcome. You're welcome, Lion. The Shaman Soldier build I used was the strongest build you've ever tried, thanks. I mean, you're welcome. Glad it worked for you. Grim Dawn is your favorite RPG? That's good to hear, man. The game is slightly old and the engine is even older. But the developers are honestly very good. Like, very, I mean, down to earth, and they don't listen to everybody in the community, unlike the Lassipok developers, right? Lassipok developers, like, listen to everybody in the community. They make, like, polls about making polls, right? They literally, like, poll the community whether or not they should poll the community, right? Like, dude. Like, sometimes I feel like the community is, like, making the game, not themselves. Like, not the developers themselves. But the Grim Dawn developers, they listen to people that actually, like, know how the game works. And I think that's better than, like, listen to everybody. So, yeah, that's why I think the Grim Dawn devs are, I don't know, kind of based. And that's, I would say, why usually, I mean, at least for, like, how small the team is, they do improve their game with every update and don't make it worse. Grim Dawn is being actively developed, yes. It has a expansion coming later this year even, which has a ton of content. Like a new class, a new act, a new endgame system. And yeah, like many other ways to influence how the world and the loot is gonna drop, like in many different ways compared to like what you can do right now. Yeah. Currently Grim Dawn, especially like the Grim Dawn as we know it with Forgotten Gods, doesn't have all too much like player agency over the content that you want to do, right? Like if you go somewhere like modifiers are random and so on, right? But the Fangs of Asterkarn expansion is gonna give the player like actually a lot of like customizable endgame. So it's like the one thing that like PoE had over Grim Dawn, I think, is kinda gonna, you know, be made with the Fangs of Asterkarn expansion. Let's get the eel. When is next adventure again? I think it's February 10th or something like that. Like, it should be soon actually, like in 1 or 2 weeks. Yeah, I mean this engine is very old and they're like pushing the engine to its limits. But I mean, they're even like they've made shapeshifting work with the expansion, right? Like the upcoming expansion is gonna have a shapeshifting class, and that was not supported in any way or form in this engine before, so I mean now it exists. Oh, that's pretty cool. Like they do know at least how their old Titan Quest engine works. I mean it's the Grim Dawn engine at this point, I guess. It's not really like Titan Quest engine only at this point, but it's built upon the old Titan Quest engine. They're also working on like a new engine for a Grim Dawn 2 eventually, but yeah, similar to PoE 1 and PoE 2, they, apart from like 1 or 2 guys that like actually know how to, you know, make engines, they kind of like pulled people back to Fangs of Asterkarn, you know, to like make Fangs of Asterkarn work instead. But they're not at least like lying about it, right? They're not saying like the PoE devs like, oh yeah, we have like 2 different teams like totally working on both games all the time. PoE 2 is not gonna affect PoE 1, right? Yeah. Surely. Anyway, here in Kron's hideout, right, there's actually one very important enemy that you have to find and kill. Moneybags Martin. Not only is he like part of a side quest, but in this case, right, he's gonna drop a medal like 100% of the time, and you always need this medal on this build. If you wanna play lightning at least. Actually, even if you wanna play like fire, I think at this point you pretty much always wanna have this medal. It just like makes Katastor like way stronger. It's level 22. In this case, so like one more level and you can use it. And I mean, as you can see, it adds like another projectile, it converts like the physical damage to lightning damage, adds like +3 to the base skill, even to the Rune of Katastor. That's very nice. Steer Resolve over here is a very nice passive, like part of the Word of Renewal line, which gives you Aether and Chaos resistance and also like percent elemental damage. But like just like most passives or like buffs, we're gonna first of all like only 1 point them, or like 2 points in this case because of the movement speed, and otherwise focus on like basically only the main skill as soon as possible. So like max out the main skill, the secondary for the main skill, and like the passives that are useful for the spell, we just like 1 point. And yeah, we're gonna get like Artifact Handing next, which affects the runes, which like gives it more cooldown reduction and also more total damage modified, which is a multiplicative multiplier to all the damage. And then we're gonna get like Aura of Censure as well to get resistance reduction, which is also a multiplicative like damage scaler basically. Now this guy has a bubble, right? So like don't waste like your runes on the bubble. Wait for the bubble to like fade. There we go. Now we can like start runing it up and dealing damage to this guy. You might be able to like bubble up once again, because honestly, Rune of Katastor is decent damage, but we don't have a single like monster frequent yet. Also keep moving, because otherwise you're gonna die to the Aether Grunt. Okay, he didn't manage to bubble up again. That was very close though, I think. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, they did like false promises, and you kind of have to like wonder why they did those, and the only reason that I can think of them doing that is like literally just them making more people that want more PoE 1 only content buy more MTX. So in a way it's kind of like false advertisement, you could say. Do I use any mods? I don't use any mods usually. I do use one mod on my main account to have like infinite stash called Grim Dawn Item Assistant. If you want to use a stash tool to, well, extend your stash into infinity, then yeah, just Google like Grim Dawn Item Assistant. Click on the link that like links you to the Grim Dawn forums, and yeah, just get it there. I sometimes also use the Grim Dawn rainbow filter, which colors items slightly differently, especially like makes green items easier to read, which can be very like nice for a new player, I would say, because evaluating the power of a green item without knowing the game is a little hard at first. Like for example, these shoulders, right? I mean, both of these shoulders appear green. I mean, you might already like guess that this one is maybe a bit more special because it has like a kind of more special model. It also has like more stats on it, and also has like skill bonuses on it. And the reason why is this one is a Stalwart Plated Shoulders of Heroism, right? So Stalwart is a magic, common, like magic, yeah, like yellow prefix. Of Heroism is a rare, so green suffix, and Plated Shoulder Pads, or plated spoders in this case, are just like a white base, so like a trash item. But it still appears green because it's like yellow, white, green, and then like the you know, the highest rarity takes effect. Whereas this item is a vigorous Ascendant Shoulder Plates of Amarasa's Flurry. Of Amarasa's Flurry is a rare suffix, so that's green again. Vigorous is a yellow prefix again, so that's yellow. But Ascendant Shoulder Plates is also like a rare base, a monster frequent base. And nowadays at least they show you this icon, right? If like both of these are on the ground, you can see this icon here. This means this is a monster frequent, meaning that it can only drop from specific monsters. Infrequently, in some cases frequently. And it will have like basically implicit stats on top, right? And the rainbow mod would also color these items differently, right? So it would like tell you, okay, vigorous is a yellow, so it would like show vigorous as yellow, the middle part green, the latter part, the suffix green as well. Whereas here it's also like, would show like as yellow, white, yellow, right? It would actually like color the name of the item in like 3 different colors. Which can be very, very useful for like a new player for sure. Like for example, this one is Crushing of Fortitude. This is yellow, green, yellow. So if this wasn't a rare base, it would actually be a yellow ring, another green ring. But because it has like an implicit, pretty decent implicit, it's a green ring. And the same actually for this is also like a green ring, like green implicit. So yeah, like knowing your items is gonna be like important eventually, and the rainbow filter can help you with that, especially like when you don't want to like learn all the effects in the game by heart, or like all the items in the game by heart. Then yeah, like just use item assistant, honestly. I mean rainbow filter, honestly. Should be good. I think I want to use this one over the other one actually. Now I have so much kill stress.
Good, you're back.
Rainbow filter.
Rainbow filter. Thanks for the resub, Theos. 39 months already. Appreciate the support. Welcome back to the Bloomers. Yeah, this green item, right? You can even use this for endgame. Whereas like a ring like this, where is it? A ring like this you would never use for endgame. A ring like this you can actually use even for endgame. You can also use this for endgame. I mean, it depends on the build, right? But those are like endgame viable. Okay, we don't need these, I think. And Zedit's gauntlets can be pretty good actually on... Do I need the Eliras? Some lightning. I'm not gonna use it actually. Because we're getting Aether and Chaos Rest for free on this class. If you like put more points here. And I can also always craft another anti-venom salve actually and put it on my boots. As long as you don't have maxed out run speed, I would also always go for a Mark of the Traveler in your boots. But on Inquisitor it's like really easy to max your movement speed because of the Word of Renewal, so we can just like use something else. Like this. And then we have at least one Bristifer now for the Scaled Hide. What do I put on chest? I still have like garbage only for chest. Oh well, let's go with the Polished Emeralds then still. I could also go with like Ectoplasm on Helmet maybe. And this here, and then we put the Enchanted Flint and the Torch. Am I gonna spend my attribute points? I did spend them every now and then. Unless you want to play a Gun Inquisitor, then you want to play Cunning, right? And if you want to play like Pierce Inquisitor, you also want to play Cunning. But if you play like a Magic Inquisitor like this, you want to like split between Physique and Spirit most of the time. And if you play Hardcore, you can do like even more, like rather more towards Physique than less.
Well, you were Derry. We have to hit them hard and fast.
I actually missed Streaks of... Ah, yeah, you did. What the hell, man? How did you, of all people, miss that? If you're playing like Fresh Start, like I am right now, then I kind of like keeping some of the attributes unspent. Because you might find an item that is really good for your build and has a lot of Cunning requirement, or like a lot of Physique requirement, or a lot of Spirit requirement. And then you can't use it because you have no attribute points left, right? So I think it's always kind of like okay to have like a couple of attribute points unspent. They're not like super impactful per point anyway. Like around like 5 points, I would say, is what you wanna like maybe keep available at all times. Inquisitor is the hardest start. I would say Oathkeepers actually. I think Oathkeeper is weaker than Inquisitor early game. I mean, both of them can be very strong eventually, but I think Oathkeeper is like the weakest early. Do I have a video that breaks down the item affix system?
Keep your weapon.
Not really. I mean, it's not as crazy as PoE's affix system, to be fair. Like, Grim Dawn item affix system is the following, right? Take notes. Green items usually always have 2 affixes, 1 prefix, 1 suffix. That's it. The prefix and suffix can be either magic or rare. So you can have a item with 2 magic affixes, or 1 rare, 1 magic, or double rare, right? And double rare are some of the rarest items in the game. At least double rare with monster frequent base on top, which is kind of like triple rare in a way. Right? These are like the rarest items in the game, more or less. Then you have blue items, which usually have 0 affixes, right? Blues have 0 affixes. In the Grim Dawn leagues, community leagues, you can add affixes to the blues, but in the base game you can't. So like in the base game, blue items have no affixes. And I'm pretty sure that's also not gonna like change with the expansion. Like with Fangs of Asterkarn, it's not gonna change either. And then legendary items also don't have affixes, they just have like their stats. And yeah, that's kind of it. Now, it becomes a little bit more important, interesting rather, or important, yeah, to know, when you look at the items that you can craft from the smith. Now you can craft green items and yellow items, usually from the smith. And also blues and purples, okay. I mean, the blues and the purples will behave the same way as like the blues and the purples that you find, with like one addition. There is the so-called smithing bonus, which you could also like maybe like say is a smithing affix, so like a third affix in a way. And every smith can have 3 different bonuses that it can give you, right? And it will always roll one of the 3 if you craft an item with the smith. But this will not include components and relics, right? So if you craft relics or components, those will not get the smithing bonuses, only for example a metal will, or like any other thing, right? And if you craft a green, they will only get the base stats of these greens, because they already have like some base stats, plus only 1 affix, not 2. So crafted greens only get 1 affix. Usually greens have 2, right? But in this case, greens only get 1 affix, whereas yellows get 2 affixes. Which is also why, for endgame, for example, you usually start crafting so-called stone plate greaves boots, for example, and there's a couple others you can also craft, because they already have like implicits. I mean, these don't have implicits, but like Stoneplate Greaves, for example, have an implicit and get 2 affixes on top, right? So they're kind of competitive to like monster frequents. And because there's no monster frequent boots in the game, at least not yet, those are like really, really good. You can also, and the same thing I think for like gloves, right? There's no monster frequent gloves either. So you can also like in endgame craft yellow gloves to actually make like endgame viable gloves. You can also do the same with pants for endgame, even though there are also like monster frequent pants. But sometimes it can still be fine to also like craft pants. So yeah, if you want actually like affixes on your gear from the smith, then you have to craft yellows, usually not greens. Some specific greens I think can be fine for like leveling phases at some point maybe, but honestly I've like never done it ever. You can craft like these gauntlets, for example, they're like fine I guess, or you can like craft a medal, like a ranger's badge or something like this if you want to, right? Like this is not too bad, this has like a decent amount of resistances actually. This is, like if you don't need a monster frequent medal like this, then ranger's badge crafting is like okay at this level, right? Like that's not actually too bad. Yellow crafts, yeah, and then exactly, like yellow crafts can not only have 2 affixes, but they also can roll with double rare affixes, exactly. So if you're wondering like what to do with all your scrap and all your iron bits endgame, the answer is usually you craft stone plate greaves, yeah, because they need iron bits and scrap to craft. It's kind of like the endgame, like iron bits and scrap dump crafting those. I already was here, right? Okay. Let's go to Twin Falls then. Yeah, I mean, I would say stone plate greaves are... They are certainly like a chase item, but not as much as like double green perfect affixed monster frequence. Like those are even more chase items. Because those are like drop only. And yeah, still kind of rare to get like double rare affixes. And I mean, you can get like double rare affixes on a monster frequent, but then like one of the rare affixes is, I don't know, say you have a fire item and you want a fire, you already also got a fire prefix, but then the suffix is like vitality all of a sudden, and or like aether or something like that, and then it's still, even though it's a very rare item and technically a triple rare and technically like very valuable, it's still terrible because it didn't roll the actual affix that you want, or like the actual damage type. So even triple rare items can be bad. Which makes like getting the right triple rare item even more chase. There will be MI boots with the expansion pack. I don't think so actually. I don't think I've seen any so far. Spoiler alert, I guess. But maybe, who knows? I haven't seen all the items yet. Proud to announce you just lost your first hunter carrot at level 50 because you were looking at the second monitor while standing on Aether Corruption. That's a classic, but also big F. Fuck, I can't even write my own emotes right. What is this? Yeah, Aether Corruption is also something that's always confusing for new players, right? The ground Aether Corruption. Everybody who's new to the game, I mean myself included, right? I mean, makes sense, right? To think like that. You think, oh, if I get Aether resistance, right, that's gonna make me take less Aether damage from the Aether ground. Nope. It deals Aether damage to you, yes, that's correct, but you cannot resist it with Aether resistance. Because it always deals a fixed amount of your max HP and damage per tick. So there's literally no way in the entire game to resist it, except for one thing. And that's percent absorption, and like flat absorption as well. So something like Arcanus Maven Sphere of Protection will actually make you take less damage from it. But yeah. And intuitively... this guy's getting healed, what the hell? Why am I even killing this guy? What the hell am I doing? But unintuitively, Aether Resistant is not a way to mitigate the damage of... Jesus, there's too many priests here. Fuck the priests, what the hell. Alright, stage 2. This guy can actually be kind of rippy, right? I mean, it's like a side area, and side areas are like usually more rippy. Dangerous domain, it says. I mean, yeah, it sure is dangerous. The totem here is also giga rippy, like, I would not recommend clicking on that at this point in the game. Like, ever. Not even on normal difficulty, to be fair. I mean, you can do it if you, like, wanna die, I guess. Or if you feel, like, really powerful. I'm not gonna risk. I don't even need to be here, to be fair. There's nothing I want here. Maximum movement speed counters Aether Ground. True. Just run faster, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be... I mean, honestly, I think Aether Ground in general used to be a lot more annoying and scarier in the past. It's already gotten easier to play around, and it's gonna be even easier in the expansion with just like more movement speed for sure. Yo, Ratio, welcome. Been watching all my videos today. Oh, your videos all day today, because I was trying to create some builds. Nice. What did you have in mind? What did you create? What did you end up making? You need to place chests in Theoden's back room? True. And it's gonna be like actually doable to get there with max movement speed now, I think. Like get there without like getting there and like getting out of there without dying. And you can always log, I guess, but yeah. Yeah, I put it on the list. And that's also another thing that's actually true. Even right now, you can play something like Avenger Water and literally stand inside of Aether Ground and don't die because you have too much regeneration. True. Isn't there some challenge in Forgotten Gods where you have to stand on some Aether Ground for a period of time? There's like a ritual circle and the Vanguard of 3. If you stand there in ultimate difficulty, you will get an item. One of the many secrets in this game. Does Poison Ground work similar? I mean, if it's like Poison Ground casted by enemies, then no. If it's like actual ground damage, like environmental damage, then yes, it's gonna work the same. Is there any poison element, like ground damage in the game? There might be, I think, somewhere. I think there is at some point. Do I think Fangs of Asterkarn is soon? I think Last Epoch Season 2 is before Fangs of Asterkarn 100%. And that is on April 2nd. Oh yeah, Elena's Slith area, true. Yeah, that's very similar. Yeah, you can't use Poison Rest to resist against that. Velbury should be Aether damage, I think. Like Aether Ground. But yeah, the Elena part for sure. Maybe there's like a small area in like Velbury that also has poison damage. I don't remember too well, to be fair. Like fuckpot Velbury. In like some Dutch. Yeah, you're probably right actually. Dirty water in the red caves. Oh yeah, true, same. Yeah. Red caves, acid water is the same. Also can't resist that. Let's leave a portal here. Gotta make like this a bit quicker. Lava and the Forgotten Gods. Yeah, that's the same, just like with fire damage. Like it's gonna do like % max HP. Your character in fire damage, even though you can't resist it with fire resistance. Yeah. Some mobs leave it after dying. If mobs leave it after dying, then it's like normal poison skill damage, so not like environmental damage. So you can resist against that with poison damage, with poison resistance. Like anything that like a monster casts or leaves behind is gonna scale with that monster's damage and is a like normal damage type that you can normally resist against. It's literally just the stuff that's like built into the map itself that you can't resist against for whatever reason. It's really not intuitive, but I kind of wish they would change it at some point. But I guess they want to have it like as a challenge that you can't gear against for some reason. I can't wait that long. Recommend you start a ranged build. I think they buffed Purifier in this patch, actually, quite a bit. Fire Strike got buffed. I mean, you can also play... You can always play like ranged Primus Strike. Like 200 ranged Primus Strike is a ranged build too, right? Technically. Fire Strike Purifier is really good as patch. Like, I don't know about like really good yet, but certainly better than before. You can play Rutnik, like dual Rutnik Aether Pistols. You can play that on like different builds actually. I think the best are Oppressor and Paladin. And then you can also play physical guns on Paladin, like with Sand Spitters. Yeah. It's kind of ironic how Paladin of all the classes is like one of the literal best gun classes in the game. The name really like doesn't suggest that in my opinion, but that's how it is. Okay, we're gonna put like points. Put points in artifact handling and 1 in the bar. It's so stupid. Yeah, I don't know why that class is like called Paladin. I mean, actually it makes sense when you like think about the classes themselves. But it's just kind of like a weird coincidence that those classes also happen to have like really good gear synergy, or like range synergy in general. What Crate is like, how do you say that? Like a culprit of though, is creating Paladin ranged gear, right? Like not only is there like already like decent synergy by default, they also like have created so much like ranged Paladin gear. Oh well. I will smite you with my bullets. I mean, Grim Dawn is a Victorian era game. So I guess the Spanish Inquisition or whatever Paladins were left at that point did use guns. Yeah, like Pierce ranged Paladin, physical ranged Paladin, even fire are all kind of like fine. You would prefer guns over caster, you're gonna try to find something new on YouTube? Sure. Yeah, I mean, like as I said, like those are usually fine. The classes we just mentioned, like Paladin, Purifier. Honestly, like Paladin and Purifier are probably like the most flexible gun classes. I would argue that Paladin is actually the most flexible out of all of them, but Purifier is like really good for fire damage. Alright, we went all the way down here. Not necessary to kill this boss, but more importantly for the shrine that's also down here. And yeah. Some loot. Okay. Gotta sell some items. What's my favorite skill in the game? I don't know, I like many skills in this game. I mean, I only made an emote for one of them though, I guess. Oh yeah, we should use this item. It's obviously very good if you play Stormbox, but even if you don't play Stormbox, it's still like +1 to all skills Inquisitor, which is very good and very nice. Don't get like baited by like some plus damage here and things like these. This is like plus damage to your fucking like default attack, but you're never using default attack. I mean, sure. Do I want to use this? I mean, it is more armor. Let's take some more armor, why not? Brimstone shoulder plates, or like shoulder guard, is not even that bad, actually. I think with all the gear that has like points to Stormbox... Oh wait, the shoulders convert elemental to Aether. I'm kinda stupid, am I not? I can't really like use these. Oops. I don't want my elemental damage converted to Aether. Hello, streamer, what are you doing? Are you drunk? These have higher cooldown reduction, that's good. Like this book has higher cooldown reduction. Chaos Res, sure. Better than nothing. Formidable. Formidable is pretty tanky. Fortitude also like 55 physique is a shit ton of physique. Like, that's crazy. Yo, Nevsk, welcome. Is Dervish or Sentinel better for Aegis? I would say Sentinel is much better for Aegis. Dervish is also great, but Dervish is usually played as dual wield melee. If you want to be like a poison caster, and Aegis is basically a caster in a way, you want to play Sentinel instead. Okay, if you would like to play Rune of Hagrad instead of Rune of Kalastor, then Spectral Longsword is like for you. You can play this on like an Infiltrator, for example. I kind of would like to try that too, maybe, as a skill. I'm gonna try to keep, like, hang on to my Final March boots as long as possible, to be fair, because they do have like +2 to Rune of Kalastor. Do I want to use these? No, it's fine. Okay, or actually, maybe I do. Okay, time to use the inventor to fish out all of the components again. Luckily, this is pretty cheap to do most of the time. Also, we can put a... Wait, how the fuck did I get a sanctified bone, huh? Is that like a quest reward you can get? Did I still not get a fur? Are you... How? Let's make one here. So Sanctified Bone gives you Vitality and Chaos Rest, but like usually you can't crop it at this point. You need to like get a blueprint and like get it later. I think I got it from like some quest, but I didn't know whatever quest gave me this actually can give you this. I wonder which quest this is. We're playing Stunjack's Grenado Purifier. CDR is OP for that? Yeah, for sure it is. The arming delay makes Rune's fee kinda bad. Or so bad even. It used to be even longer. I reduced it in like one of the community leagues first, and then Zentai also reduced it in the base game. So it already like feels a lot better than it used to, I think. I agree, they could like maybe reduce it like by another like 0.5 seconds, but then again, it's only 1 second now. And if you go like for another minus 0.5 seconds, then there's gonna be people saying like, oh, you could like just remove it completely. And I mean, I guess you could also do that. But that's kinda not what Crate wants with the runes, so... And I can also somewhat understand it, because at that point it will feel like even more just like any other skill. So I think the 1 second rune like armoring time is fine as it is. Because otherwise they wouldn't feel like distinct enough. And to be fair, if you like properly play them, like if you properly like gear for them, they are still good. Like, they are very good actually. Okay, let me make one more grimtools here real quick for level 24, what I have right now. You wrote good evening, my friend, in German, what the hell? Dude, automod is completely retarded recently. I think I have to like disable it. But if I completely disable it, it's gonna be a bit risky too. I don't know what's wrong with automod recently, like it's just... I have no idea what kind of update they made to it, but it was a bad update. I actually have more light radius because of the torch as well. Right, if you use the torch, like right, look at this, right? This is normal light. This is torch light. Okay, you might be wondering, what the hell, you're playing fire, right? Why are you like going for lightning devotions? Well, I'm playing like actually like physical, lightning fire hybrid right now. And because of how the itemization for this rune kind of works, I'm gonna be full lightning probably before being full fire, so... And also, I don't know, I think like lightning actually has like slightly better itemization, at least for like a fresh start. You can play both though. I think fire is very good too. Fire and lightning are both very good. I might like, yeah, do another run with fire instead of lightning. I mean, up until this point it would basically look the same though. It's... So maybe it's like not really like worth doing another run. I could just instead like switch devotions and like see how it feels as fire instead of as lightning. Haha, torch light, yeah. Oh yeah, 1 point in Stormbox actually, because we got some like cute damage to it, an execute damage to it from the amulet. So I think like having 1 point there is fine. I mean, might as well have like 1 point in the tether too, because we also have like, yeah, +1 to all skills. So like getting 1 point is 2 points, and that's a decent amount of value. It's not gonna be like crazy damage or anything, but some additional like boss damage. And also if you're like using devotions, Stormbox is better at proccing devotions than Rune of Calastor usually is. Like for example, once we play the Arcane Bomb here, the box is gonna be very, very nice for that. This guy can hurt, so use the evade, right? Use the evade to actually evade. Like his overhead slams. The other attacks are kind of fine, you can probably tank them. I mean, don't have to. Oh yeah, he's also like one of 2 bosses in the entire game that can drop the Mistborn Talisman, which is not 100% drop chance, so I guess we got kind of lucky. Calastor is insane on totems, yeah, like if you wanna farm totems or like just kill totems with ease, put down like a couple of runes below the totem in advance, and then like click on the totem, and then the entire totem's gonna like explode instantly basically. Do you think dual pistol battle mage works? No. I think battle mage already has not too many builds, and dual pistols out of all builds is gonna be absolute dog shit on battle mage. Like, no offense, but I think that's very bad. Because there's like literally no gear for it. Like, battle mage is a class that kind of needs gear for it to even be viable. Like, battle mage doesn't have the best innate synergy. It's kind of a... I mean, it can be a very good class, a very safe class especially, with like specific gear. But it really doesn't have like good damage synergy at all. And for guns, there's literally 0 itemization, I think. There might be like 1 elemental gun somewhere, but... And I guess you could like do elemental damage cadence with that gun. So, I mean, maybe that works, but I don't see it being good right now at least. I think it would need more than it has. Right now at least. In general, much more sets than Fangs of Asterkarn is what I'm anticipating the most. I mean, there's gonna be at least 1 set, for sure, yeah. Do you use a mod for SSF? No. So what you can do, right, if you want to like basically start fresh all over again, right? It's a bit easier if you don't use cloud saves, right? You can switch between cloud saves, like Steam cloud saves and local saves by ticking or unticking the cloud saving here. And also in Steam, right? You have to untick them in both places. And then your like default save location is gonna be in Documents, My Games, Grim Dawn. And then usually you have only one save folder here, which saves like your characters, your stash, your formulas, like all of your blueprint and so on, right? Over here, like transmutes and so on. And in here is like your character, right? What you can do though is you can like rename the save folder to like something else. As you can see, I have like a couple of save folders. And if you do that, then it still like saves the stuff in there, of course. It's just like a normal folder in your PC. But the game is gonna create a new save folder, and the new save folder has everything reset automatically, right? So what I can do now, if I want to like go from this character back to like another character, I just like rename this to like, I don't know, save underscore Rune Inquisitor, right? And then rename whatever photo I want to play on to have just save as the name, and then I'm playing on that folder instead. So each folder is like an account in a way, you could say, but this is like not an online game, so it's not an actual account. I also have a video on YouTube about like how to reset your save files, but I mean that's more or less what I'm explaining there as well. Maybe like a little bit more in detail. But I mean it's really like no magic, it's like literally just like renaming your folder. An official part of your game. I mean it's an official part of every like operating system that has folders. Alright. If you play on a PC, you can do it, right? You just have to rename the folder. It could be more intuitive, that's true. But I don't think they're gonna like use their dev time on like changing that. Loker is easy on all characters. I mean, Loker is easy on like all properly built characters, let's say it like that, yeah. Loker is like easy on all properly built starter characters as well. Of which there are a lot, right? And if you're experienced with the game, it's gonna be like easy for you to make one. But if you're not, or you're like some kind of like, I don't know, content baiter, like Inquisitor G for example, then you might struggle with Loker, to be fair. Especially in new Loker, right? Like new Loker with the Sunder is actually a lot harder than before, I think. Like, it used to be a bit easier. You can't just say the S word, Inquisitor G. He who must not be named. I guess. Yeah. If you wanna like look for more builds that can definitely do that, I guess here's some inspiration for you. With the Death Knight you can face them easily. Nice. Yeah, I mean once you get like properly decked out, then you can face sync him on like most properly decked out endgame characters, I would say. I would say the challenge is more in like making him doable on characters that don't have like all the gear in the game yet. Right? Do I know how many devs are like active in Grim Dawn? What did Xanta say the last time he was on stream here, when we were like showing the Berserker class for the first time? Something like 20, I think, people maybe? 15, 20, something like that. Like they grew like a little bit, right? They used to be like pretty much I think 12 or 10 people, and now I think they're like 15 or 20. I mean it's still very tiny, but still a small studio. But I think they're actually hiring. The problem is like you need to be in the US to be hired. Oh, I don't know if like all of them are actually like working on Grim Dawn right now though. I mean, there are like about 20 people like in general, but I think in Grim Dawn itself it's maybe like 10, yeah. Because other people are like working on other projects as well. I mean, they have like the City Builder, right? The Farthest Frontier game that part of their team is working on. They have some people working on some other games as well that are not Grim Dawn nor Farthest Frontier related. Would I consider moving to the US if they offered me a job? I mean, I would definitely like consider it. I don't know if I want to consider it right now with how the US is, but I mean, I think what would be really fun is like maybe work for them for like a just like with like a work visa, I guess, for a couple of maybe like half a year or something like that, or like a year maybe. I think it would be like really like a really nice experience. But I mean, I don't know if they want to like hire me for like just a year. That I mean, if I accept like less payment, I guess they would be fine with that, because they like know me and know I've been like doing a lot of good stuff for the game overall. I would say, I would dare to say. Do I need a visa to travel to the US as a German? I mean, no, I can stay there like 3 months visa free, right? Just like everywhere else, where it's like visa free. But yeah, I mean, 3 months is like not enough to like actually work there, right? Ah, yeah. We don't have priests anymore, but instead we have fucking shaman healers, right? Oh well. She still died. And also, I mean, if I move to the US now, right, I might get deported, right? Who knows? Maybe I'm an illegal alien. Who knows what the definition of that is gonna be like in a couple of weeks. Just kept my orange resist. Okay, I'm white, I'm not gonna get deported. Oh my god, dude. I mean, you know, like Latinos are white too, right? Basically. Like, I don't get the like US definitions of like, in quotation marks, like races anyway. Like it's a bit weird to me. And I mean, I'm obviously aware of like Latinos not being counted as like so-called like Caucasian white in the US. I mean, Caucasian makes like no fucking sense in the first place, but it's like another topic. Anyway, if you're playing Grim Dawn, right, and if you're in the Shaded Basin, right, you wanna look for the cave that is not marked in the map first, so you get to Bloodbrother's cave first before getting to the Forgotten Depths where I'm right now, because you want to kill Bloodbriar for a side quest before going to the depths here, where you, well, are gonna kill another boss for another side quest. Caucasian, yeah. And exactly, yeah. That's exactly what it means. At one point, Italians weren't considered whites. I mean, they are like the same as like Spanish, right? And Spanish are basically Latinos, so I mean, it makes sense, right? I guess in their like mind, maybe, I don't know. DLC needs to come out fast. Yeah, please, please, please. Always thought Crate was in Germany. Actually, no, they're US based. They are from like the New England region mostly. But they have like people from all over the US now, I think, working on the game. They don't have an actual office, right? They have no office. They all work from home, 100% remote. Which, who knows, might be illegal too soon, who knows, right? Maybe they're all like working illegally, right? Nah, just kidding. I mean, no, that's not gonna be illegal, but at least not in IT, like, no way. But yeah, they are US based and working all from home, so you can pretty much like move wherever you want inside US. I think the main reason why it's like inside US only is because they don't want to like bother with like tax stuff. It gets a bit more complicated when it's like non-US stuff. Yeah, and I don't know. And when you have to like pay another like 50% tariffs on like the salary of some employee, right, then it might also be a bit more complicated, right? And that's not how it works, I know, I'm just joking, but who knows, right? Who knows? Anyway, yeah. Any illegal aliens in chat? Any legal aliens in chat? Okay, yeah, I mean, if I go to the US, then definitely as a legal alien, that's for sure. Everything else is certainly not worth it. Dude, I know somebody, right? It was like a girl, like a friend of mine, like many years ago, like 10-ish years ago. She wanted to go to like some, basically like some, what was it, like some, what is that even called in English? Like some like horse farm, or like some farm in general where they also have like horses and you can like do riding lessons, or like you can be like like a horse teacher, like a ride teacher. I don't know how to say that in English, I have no idea. I don't really like do that kind of stuff, so I have no idea how it works, but she wanted to like go there, right? It was like some farm in Texas, I think. And she was arriving there, right? And I mean, she's German, she's even white, right? But like there was like, I mean, she had like all the papers, obviously, as well. She prepared. But there was like something that she was like missing, or what like the border control said she was missing. Ranch, yeah, ranch is more accurate, I guess, yeah, for sure. And they literally, yeah, they didn't let her into the country, and she had to fly back. Like, she was literally deported, like, on like, day one, right? I don't know, it was kind of crazy. And I mean, all the money for the flight and everything was, like, just for nothing, right? GG. That was kind of weird. No ram ranch, yeah, it was a horse ranch. No ram ranch, no rams allowed. Am I still a student? On paper I still am a student, yeah. I mean, I do actually also still study a bit more seriously now than like the last couple of years, I guess. Seeding your build? Yeah, you totally did like a patent. A patent. You totally paid for the patent, right? Haha. I mean, what else do you play with Callister? You can do Fire Callister too, right? I mean, that's pretty decent too, I think. Actually, they buffed the two-handed gun. Gave us some CDR. So Fire Callister for leveling should be good too. I kind of want to try both. Lightning and fire, but yeah, we're going for lightning for now. Because it's definitely like a thing you can do. What else do you go for? I mean, for healing you could go for like Behemoth. For which I guess, at least at this point, you want to go for like Jackal. If you go for lightning and you play the shield, you don't need Eddy Storm, right? Pierce Callister is goated. Wait, how do you play Pierce Callister though? Like, with fresh stuff. Oh, Conduit. Oh, okay. So it's like an endgame build, basically. Makes sense. But yeah, I can see it being good for endgame, yeah. Yeah, Conduit are like some of the most beginner unfriendly builds there are, I guess. You could play Turtle, right? Turtle, Crab. New Arcane Bomb feels so much better, yeah, for sure. You can go like Turtle, Crab, maybe like Giant or Chariot. Ultos. Tempest, maybe? I should like look at the make a proper devotion page. What's the arcane bomb? This one right here from the Widow. It's like the it kind of like plays like a rune as well, actually, right? Like it's a rune that like it gets placed under the enemy and then explodes. Right? It also has an armoring time, but a kind of short armoring time now, like shorter than before, and has like more summon limits now. Does it even have an armoring time now, or is it like 0 armoring time? Yeah, it used to be like way worse to trigger, that's for sure. Will I also pick Hagorad rune? I don't think so, no. Not on this build right here, right now. Okay, what do I need for crab? Lotus and turtle. Is that how you play crab? And then purples too. Like, what do you do for yellows? You could do lion, I guess, at this point. Or even crane for resistances early game. Didn't even see Grandon got a new update. Yeah, there's like patch 1.2.1.4 out right now. Since like late December, I think. The Rune of Castor 200 monster frequent is the pinnacle of what you hate about range builds in this game. I mean, it's just a caster, right? Like some guns in this game are basically staves, right? They're not really actually ranged builds. Like they're not actual gun builds. They just pretend to be a gun, but they're actually like a staff or like a wand. Like 100 caster pistols are basically wands, and 200 caster pistols are basically, like guns are basically staves, right? It's a double-barreled staff, yeah, exactly. It's a Victorian era staff. It's a Lovecraftian staff. You need a 200 for the word of renewal modifier. And you don't, I mean, yeah, you don't need the modifier, but... Two-handed caster Inquisitor is not too bad. Like, it's totally fine. For certain. I mean, yeah, Crate is an American company, right? So... Of course, the wands are guns, right? It's possible to change gun builds on the new DLC. New DLC. Wait, what do you mean? Change gun builds on the new DLC? Doesn't even max deadly aim rush? Yeah. I have not learned my lessons. I haven't learned my lessons from Scimitar G. Chaos casting your next build, and I wonder why it has no chaos resistance reduction and a skill tree in any mastery. There are 2 masteries with chaos resistance reduction, you just didn't read right. No offense. Death Sentence has chaos resistance reduction, so Inquisitor is one of the classes. And Demolitionist has chaos resistance reduction on Hellfire Mine. So those 2 have chaos resistance reduction. Those 2 classes don't necessarily have like great chaos damage skills though, so you kind of want to like play Occultist probably for like a chaos dealing caster. And then as a secondary, pick either Inquisitor or Demolitionist, right? So the like natural chaos casters in this game would be Occultist Inquisitor or Occultist Demolitionist, usually, right? And actually on top of that, monsters do have like slightly less chaos and aether resistance on average. That's also true actually. So it is somewhat also balanced around that, yeah. Was there another witch doctor here? I didn't see him. Yikes. Infernoid, welcome on. maybe like focus on the boss real quick. Okay. Also, yeah. That's also true. Like, depending on the damage type, some of them will have more, others less resistance reduction on items, like especially endgame items. And Chaos is one of the damage types where you're gonna find like more resistance reduction on items compared to other masteries, actually, like other damage types, actually. I did not find a Venom. What the hell, dude? Okay, let's like kill some Manticores real quick. Is Season 7 playable offline now? Yes, it is. There's also a component, that's true, Arsnimek, that's a good point. There's the... I don't have it yet, I think. It's like a rare component you will have to find at some point. Symbol of Solide, I think it's called. Yeah, gives you like a debuff skill that also reduces enemy chaos resistance. So that's pretty nice. Especially like helps you like... I mean, on some caster builds you can even use it in the end game. But I think mostly it's there to bridge the gap between you not having the chaos resistance reduction rings yet. Yeah.
So how good?
I also didn't find the sister, oh well. Or daughter, or whatever it is, Dahlia. She died anyway. Rest in peace. Da, 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 da. Glad you made it through. She's fine. Yeah, true. She's fine. Don't worry. She's fine. I mean, she's already dead, right? What can I do?
I wasn't sure you.
She's already dead. Already dead.
I'll skip the pleasant. The Legion is split.
There's literally no way to save her. As like depressing as that sounds. Most caring brother ever, yeah. I actually don't have any siblings, but you probably could already tell, right? I guess you could tell. I don't have any siblings. Twitch chat is my brothers and sisters. Okay, let's kill the eggs. Chaos is kinda... Yeah, true. Chaos is not meant to be like easy to build, basically, right? I mean, Chaos and Aether originally weren't even like intended to be used as like player damage types at all. Like early versions, like pre-release versions of Grim Dawn, had Aether and Chaos damage only as enemy damage types, but never as player damage types. I think that's kind of changed with the Arcanist, like giving you access to Aether damage, because, well, it's like literally part of their lore. So they kind of like had to give it to Arcanist. And I think especially with the Berserker class now and Fangs of Asterkarn, they are moving towards like Berserkers being the source of chaos damage. And I guess Occultists in a way too, but not as much as Berserkers even. But in a way they're both out. I mean, Occultist is kind of like mostly Witch God stuff, but also... yeah, they kind of gave like Solal chaos damage. I think Solal initially would have been like a fire vitality entity. Like a fire vitality themed entity. Rather than... Give me one sec, guys. I'm right back. I am back. Sorry about that. Okay, what do we have here? Arcanist. I think Arcanist is more defensive than Occultist too. Like, Arcanist does have the least amount of HP of all classes, but it does have Maven Sphere protection, and it does have like Mirror of your Rocktease as well on top. Occultist has a Possession, but Possession is like an exclusive, right? Possession gives you absorption, like percent absorption. Maven Sphere gives you percent absorption too. It does give you more percent absorption though. Can AoE freeze? I mean, it can AoE freeze, but I would not count that as a like actual defensive tool because it's not working against, like, it works against trash, yeah, but not against like anything where it matters that much. I mean, like, you can still use it as a support skill though, yeah, for like crowd freeze, even in SR, I guess, if you like walk into like big groups of like heroes and stuff like that, sure. It's just bad against bosses. It does have a place in the game, I think, still, actually, OFF. Especially in content where, well, bosses aren't as important and, well, elites are more important. Nullification is really, really strong. I think Nullification is the strongest skill in the entire Arcana tree, actually. And Nullification is mostly good defensively. Rarely offensively. But it is also the skill that requires arguably the most game knowledge out of all skills in the game, so for a new player it's gonna be very hard to know when to use the skill properly. Arcanus in general is not an easy to play class, I would say. Because you need to like know when and how to mirror, what you don't have to mirror and what you should mirror, what you should nullify and what you can nullify and what you can't nullify. Because some things you literally can't nullify, right? So it's a very tricky class for sure. Like I could literally make like a half an hour guide on just nullification as a skill probably. Maybe that's even good content, I don't know. Anybody know where the patch notes are for 1.2.1.5? I have no idea now. I didn't even know there's a patch, to be fair. I mean, it's only like a playtest, but yeah. Apparently there's some playtests. I mean, I think Xanta is gonna post them, like the patch notes eventually, but they're not there yet. So, I don't know. Nullify sucks until it gets a damage buff. Yeah, exactly. Yo, Emerson, welcome. I was watching your PvE2 videos and it comes to me, how do you feel about SSF characters sharing stash like other characters of the same league? Like, what's the point of playing SSF then? SSF exists because of trade, right? Like, if you don't play SSF, you trade with other players, right? SSF in PoE is not about the character, like character self-found, it's about like account self-found, right? Like solo self-found stands for account self-found in PoE and not like character self-found. Yeah, that's basically what it stands for. Like if you're not playing SSF in PoE, you're basically playing trade, which means you will, or like should usually, use the like trading market a lot. And that's also like why many items are very, very rare in PoE. Or like harder to get, harder to craft in PoE, and PoE2 I guess the same. Because the game is mostly like balanced around players being able to trade as well. And well, that obviously makes gear acquisition a lot easier. Oh yeah, what about this item, by the way? This is, it's more Chaos Rust, it's a bit less damage, but it's also more HP, and the Ignafar skill, I mean it's a cool skill, you can play it if you want, but it requires you to stand still. And I mean, that's not necessarily a problem. And they also did buff the skill, so I think I'm gonna play like another Inquisitor with Ignafar maybe. But not right now. So we're not gonna like use it. Actually following the Mage Hunter with Alagat's gear right now. If it's not a bother, you have any tips for early leveling? I mean it's an Aether build or like Aether Lightning hybrid build. So you don't want to play with Chosen Sky Shard for leveling. You rather want to play with... I mean, you can play with Chosen Sky Shard for leveling if you really want to, and then like respec your devotions into Aether later and play with like Lightning or Lightning Code devotions early. Yo, Overcautious Gamer, thanks so much for Prime. Welcome back. 41 months already. Appreciate the support. Welcome. But you could also like play with an Aether skill instead, or like Aether Lightning skill instead, and level with Aether Lightning devotions right away. Then you could play, for example, well, you could play Aether Ray, you could play Penetis, honestly, as well. Penetis is pretty good for now for leveling. You could also do as a support skill. I think, like, I would probably right now play Stormbox for, like, some single target support and play Peneti. Like, Penetis, Stormbox, maybe. Or just Aether Ray, yeah. But I mean, level 1 I would play Peneti now. I guess you can also play Calidar's Tempest, but I don't think Calidar's Tempest has... I mean, Calidar's Tempest has like very nice like fire gear earlier. Lightning gear, I don't know. In the leagues it has good lightning gear too, but in the base game I don't think it has good like lightning gear. You could also do Word of Pain for AoE and like Stormbox or single target. I actually think Penalty is better than Word of Pain right now, though. So I'd play Penalty. And then maybe like add Box on top a bit later. I think Trolls Leveling is totally fine if you are like planning to play like Code or Code Lightning later on, like Trolls and Set style. But for Alagast, I don't think Trozen is good, because, well, you literally can't deal any Aether damage with Trozen pre-Alagast set. It's impossible. I mean, you always need, like, the monster frequence, right? Yeah. Any build for, like, any skill is gonna be worse pre-monster frequence than post-monster frequence. I mean, same for Duspel, right? I'm playing Martin's Crust right now. And it's only one monster frequence so far, and it's really like destroying content. Calastor is a great skill. There's gonna be like 2 more later, which are gonna like add in more damage. I'm gonna try Aether Devastation. Oh yeah, I mean the new time dilation change is kinda cool, and also Devastation does have a way lower cooldown now, so it used to be literally unplayable before, but now it's could be interesting. Yeah, you could do, I mean, it's like a level 50 skill, right? So you have to play something else before, and I would definitely play Penalty first. But yeah, you could also play like Devastation later on top, or like maybe some more like single target or like big group damage. Drop it against like tankier mobs. You would need something to trigger time dilation though. I mean, I guess Devastation itself could just trigger it, right? Because you cast it, and then until the first projectile hits the enemy, it takes like a while, so it should like reduce the cooldown of your Devastation as well, right? Yeah. You just like bind time dilation to Devastation itself. I think that's fine. You're actually doing Stormbox and Word of Pain right now, focusing on lightning damage. Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't stick to level Inquisitor and then Arcanus later. Okay. Yeah. I think with like the buffs that like Penalty and Kailer's got as well at some point, like Arcanus feels a bit better again as like a main damage class, whereas Inquisitor, I think unless you're playing Runes, Inquisitor like mostly just feels like a support class. But then again, they did buff like Word of Pain and Box as well, and I do wanna do a run with that, a proper run with that. Especially Box, I think, has pretty good damage potential. More so now than in last patch. Diviner said either Aether or Vitality has a very nice place for Hourglass now with Devastation. Does that build actually need Hourglass, or does it have like permanent Devastation anyway? Maybe it doesn't, and then yeah, Hourglass is very good for that build, you're right. I think new Penettis is worse than new Driggs Evil Eye, but new Driggs Evil Eye is absolutely nuts, so new Penetti is actually very, very solid. Like it's a good leveling skill. I mean, Penetti is... I think like Penetti feels better early, like in Act 1 already, because it has like AoE right away. Driggs Evil Eye is a little slow earlier, because of like no AoE early. It does like more single target damage though. But then like later on, you get... Like once you get to the modifiers that like give you AoE for Driggs Evil Eye, then Driggs Evil Eye like has the same AoE as Penetti and better single targets. So I think it's just like better all around than Penetti at later points. Or like at level like, I don't know, 25 plus. Anyway, let's talk about this character a bit. So we are at 50 points now. We have reached Aura of Censure, and we also have max artifact handling. So now we're picking up our second like multiplicative damage modifier, which is resistance reduction, and also you want to pick Aura of Censure to reduce enemy damage, like this 6% reduced target's damage for 1 second. It's like an AoE debuff around you that debuffs enemy damage and also enemy elemental resistances, right? And you want to put like as many points as you can on this point and the skill, because it's great for both offense and defense, to be fair. Now, since we're gonna play Lightning Color Store, we actually want to side with Haruv, because we want to side with these guys so we can kill a boss from this faction, Sister Bravna, and she can drop a like Lightning Rune of Color Store helmet. So we want to like get that one. Yeah. That's probably gonna be like maybe the goal of today's stream, actually. We'll see how far we can push. I don't think we're gonna get to Carols right away, because I do have to go actually soon already. But yeah, maybe we can get to like Sister Bravna and get the helmet. That would be a nice like checkpoint. Yeah, I mean, there's a way to get the Sister Bravna helmet as well, even if you side with Kaimons, but it's gonna be way later into the game, right? You can like get it from the Shattered Realm, for example, like in literal Endgame, or also when you get to Ultimate, you can like change your decision once. But yeah, I mean, either way, it's gonna take quite a while until you get there, so you should definitely side with the Order of Death's Vigil if you want to play Lightning Color Store. Yeah, you can buy the medals from... like the medal and the amulet you can buy from like a vendor, like a secret vendor, even if you don't side with them, but the helmets you can't get. So it's actually really important to side with Vigil here in this case. Get to Elite. I mean, getting to up to here in Elite is also quite an investment, I would say. Like, it's like no matter what, it would kind of suck if you chose the wrong faction here, I think. You can get Ratosh, Dying God, Aeon with Diviners. Interesting. Less damage than A-Bomb, but you can get full uptime on Mirror. Oh yeah, true. I mean, yeah, not only do you get some more damage on Devastation, you also are way tankier because you have Mirror and Mark of Torment up way more often. I mean, for Spellbinder in particular, like, the Hourglass Devotion has always been a very good option. Like, historically as well. Or you play Spell Scourge and have Permanent Devastation anyway. I mean, fair enough. Actually, isn't for Spell Scourge, like, if you want to play Warcry, right? Isn't Hourglass also good for Warcry? How do the cooldowns match up when it comes to Hourglass and Warcry? Can you get like perma Warcry just with Hourglass nowadays? That might be actually interesting. Oh yeah, right. Once you get to Blood Grove, right? Once you get to Blood Grove, you're gonna feel a sudden urge of trying to get as much chaos resistance as possible, because before this point you don't need chaos res at all, but once you get here you kind of need a lot of chaos res all of a sudden. So if you don't know how else to get chaos res, you could always like craft 2 imbued silvers and get like 40% more chaos res. Or in this case, in the case of Inquisitor, you could like try to put up to at least like 8 points in Sea Resolve. I think is kind of worth it. Okay, now we have at least 72% chaos res, that's a lot better. That should be fine. Blood Grove is brutal. There's especially like one boss in Blood Grove that you kind of want to kill as well. At least if you're sided with Kaiman's Chosen. It's like a quest for killing that boss. Bolvar in here, and yeah, he's kind of crazy. Warcry is 0.5 seconds less cooldown than Hourglass. But it needs to like line up with the cooldown of Hourglass when you reduce Warcry with Hourglass, right? So I mean, Bolvar kinda has his own MI. He does share it with like some other Bloodsworns as well, but he has like a way higher chance to like drop you the pistols. So in a way, yeah, there he is. He already has a monster and frequent. I mean, he also has an amulet, right? He has, like, his own and, like, one he shares with other mobs. And then the chest as well, I think. Which he also shares with other Bloodsworns. Yeah, okay, and I mean, in this case, double demonic of Electricity. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, if you don't have like 60% plus Chaos Stress, I think, you're gonna take a lot of damage from this guy. Like, you can literally die here very easily. Boulevard is very, very, very scary now. I think it's good to finally have like some more scary bosses again in the game, because, I don't know. Some of them are just too weak. Bolivar does feel like comparatively overtuned though, I gotta say. And well, one solution would be to nerf him, but another solution would be to like buff some other bosses, like Amalgamation, for example, needs a buff, I think, or flippin' Karos for sure needs a buff as well. Rutnik is similarly scary, but like Rutnik is... he's like in a side area, right, so... You kinda expect stuff in side areas to be a bit scarier than on the main questline, but what Bolivar... I mean, technically you don't have to kill him for the main questline, but he is pretty much in your face when you do the main questline. Or like, it's a very, very high chance he's in your face at least. Need to get like one more insignia really quick here, right? Also the farmers, I almost forgot about these guys. Don't forget the farmers, guys. You could, like, rush here really fast and late. I mean... You can skip, like, all of Act 1 if you just repair the bridge to Act 2 right away. That's true. Okay, we're going over here to kill Sister Bravna. Sister Bravna is in Port Harem, which is, like, well, northeast to northwest from Bloodgrove Rift. Oh, it's just a hotfix. Right. These guys have like some pretty hefty slows on them actually. Kinda annoying. Came across our Reckoning playthrough on YouTube and made you reinstall Grim Dawn. Nice. Good to hear that. Glad you are enjoying the game once again, and glad I could spark that urge in you. Haven't played in like 2 years and remember now why you played it so much. I mean, the game is good and the game is getting better, honestly, like every single patch, in my opinion at least. The game is getting more modernized with like the evade and so on and stuff. I mean, sure, the engine is like old and not the best, but the devs are trying their best with this engine, honestly, and they are also like upgrading some parts of the engine to support more modern things. And well, we're getting another expansion even, right? There's gonna be a full-fledged expansion later this year, which adds a class that can also shapeshift, so that's another tech that we didn't have before in the game. And also like a new endgame mode and stuff, which includes a lot more player agency than we had before for endgame. It's really nice. Anyway, we just killed Sister Bravna, right? She's the boss here in Fort Aaron. If you are sided with Vigil only, otherwise there's gonna be another boss here. And this one is what you want to do, or like what you want to use for Lightning Callistor to fully convert Lightning Callistor to Lightning, I mean, remove Callistor to Lightning. Also gives you like 3 points in ignition. And yeah, has some attack damage converted to health, which actually does nothing for Rune of Callistor. But yeah, we're mostly using this to also visually convert the skull to look like this now, right? So now it's looks like flashy lightning. which is kind of cool. That's kind of like why I love Grim Dawn as well. There's so many conversions. You can like make skills look different in so many ways, like visually too. Yeah, it's just like one of the many examples right here. Anyway, this made me lose a ton of Chaos Rust, which I will have to fix somehow next time. We're gonna continue this character next time, of course, and I'm gonna have a proper like devotion set up for like mid to end game as well, ready for this at that point, which I don't have today. I think I will probably have to use like imbued servers to fix my Chaos Rust. There's like no other way, I think, right now. I'm gonna like lose a little bit of damage, but then again, I'm actually not gonna lose actual damage because currently these give me fire damage and I'm speccing out of fire damage anyway, so I should change those anyway. And to be fair, I could just like search for any item that has lightning damage right now. Like even this dagger right here. Like anything of thunder should be better than my fire damage thing. Yeah, okay. No rare items, so that's fine. We just play like this aggressive of thunder. This is gonna be more damage here, even though the tooltip is lying to me once again, but I mean it's looking at Creative Fire Blast, which obviously like doesn't deal any lightning damage. I should actually, I also didn't check out for like an offhand. I mean, yeah, Mystic of Thunder, let's go, double yellow items, right? I'm gonna look for like proper lightning monster frequence next time. I'm just gonna use this for now, and then we're gonna use double imbued silver, right? So like one here, and then a rune stone, ideally later on the head. But I guess until then we are just gonna use the ectoplasm. To get some more energy. Just started the lightning rollercoaster build. Is Rex stealing your ideas directly from your brain? Maybe. Maybe both you and me are stealing them from Crab Turtle, who also made a really good lightning rollercoaster build at some point. If you look at the items though, like the monster and frequence in grimtools, then I don't think it's like the hardest build to come up with, right? It's very straightforward if you know how the game works and if you know like how you should like build a like fresh character, right? There's a craftable item with +2 to stun jacks. It's a lightning damage weapon though, still. Okay, let's see here. Stun jacks. Oh, this wand right here. I mean, yeah. It's slightly better, I would say. Sure, why not? If you got like this of thunder on top. That's a frostbite, that's like cold damage. Oh, there we go, thunder, right? Okay, easy. Yeah, that's a good tip actually. If you don't know what to use, just craft an Adept's Wand of Thunder. Could get Sister Crimson's Scepter, am I? Yeah, she's like over here though, very deep into Forgotten Gods. I mean, we can like try to get there next time we play this character. Anyway, right, I'm gonna make another grimtools link for you guys. Yeah, to be fair, I don't know the green craftable items that well, because I very, very rarely use them. Because they are rarely useful. In this case, though, they are actually... That was actually useful, though, yeah. It was actually useful. And information on when the new DLC comes out this year. PoE2 made you come back to Grim Dawn. Gear system is just better and more fun. Yeah, it's a lot more fun, I think, too. Anyway. Okay, I'm gonna go for today. I'll be back. Yeah, kind of short stream today, I'm sorry. I'll be back, yeah, at some point next week, probably. I don't really have that much time to stream recently, because I do have exams going on right now for my uni, for my studies. So yeah, February is gonna be a little, like, low with the streams. I'm gonna continue this character, of course, next time, and then after that, we're gonna do, like, another of those, like, normal runs, or maybe, like, another class. Which will eventually be converted into, like, proper guide videos as well. So yeah, thank you so much everybody for all the follows, all the support, for being here, for supporting me on Twitch or YouTube or Patreon or wherever you want. Appreciate you guys being here, and I'll see you around on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Speed leveling content? I haven't done like speed leveling content in a while, that's true. We could like do some of that too.
Ah, I've been expecting you, human.